Welcome back to Circle Club Entertainment for yet another Diecast review here on the channel. And today we're going to be looking at another diecast from last year in 2023. Here is Chris Buescher and his 2023 BuildSubmarines.com number 17 Ford Mustang for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. So you have ourselves another Ford Mustang diecast, not the Dark Horse, because we're still set in 2023 here. This is a diecast that is really exciting to have. And the way I came around getting this one is that we were at a diecast tent at Charlotte, and I had to pick up 3 diecasts to get one of them free. Something like that. You get buy 2, get 1 free, or buy 1, get 2 free, whatever the deal was. And I chose these 2 diecasts right here. I chose the Chase Elliott, the ruby red one, and then the gold filters. I was having a really hard time deciding which diecast to get to be the third one, because there weren't really any other Chase Elliott ones that I wanted. So I went and I grabbed something pretty random here. This one right here is a diecast that would have been reviewed a long time ago if I was still doing the full-time reviewing every car. I would have definitely had this one reviewed by now, but for those of you who really wanted it during that time frame, well, you now have it here in July of 2024, the review of it. So here it is in the box. You got 2023 season, RFK, Chris Buescher, NASCAR Cup Series, the 75th anniversary logo, the usual box logos. Of course, you have the sticker on the back with Chris Buescher. But yeah, this is going to be a really exciting diecast because this actually has the chrome foil number. This is a green one, which is going to be really interesting to see out of the box. So that's all I have to say about the car in the box. Let's get this diecast out of the box and ready to be reviewed here on Circle Club Entertainment. Here it is, brand new, out of the box. And I gotta say, wow, am I glad that I actually got this one. There's actually also not only the Chris Buescher, but they have a similar Brad Keselowski BuildSubmarines.com diecast. They also make that one in the 164, so technically you can get both or either one. I ended up choosing the Chris Buescher one, as you can see. It's got the number 17, Chris Buescher, and some of his sponsors on it. This is a really, really cool paint scheme. It looks good on either of the drivers. I really, really dig this one. This one right here, just the white, the black, the green. It's just a super nice car. And I do remember one of the Keselowski ones being black, so that one also looked really good. But this one is also really nice. This one honestly looks a lot like the one that they run in 2024. It might have a few small, minute differences, but in terms of the paint scheme, it's kind of similar. But nonetheless, for being one of the newer sponsors involved in NASCAR, they knocked it out of the park with this paint scheme. So now it's time to get this diecast review on. So you have number 17, you have RFK. Gonna do the camera zoom in trick. There you go. You have the Ford Mustang stuff right there, the old Mustang. You have Ford. You have BuildSubmarines.com with the hood vents, which honestly, again, I'm not the biggest fan of these hood vents. They make the hood decals look weird, but it is accurate to the real car, so they need to have that. The BuildSubmarines.com. You got Ford. You have Ford and you have Buescher right there. And it looks like they detailed the windshield. I like how they always detail these windshields on the Gold Series. You even have like the little air vent. I'm pointing this stuff out because, I don't know, to me it looks kind of new and modernized. More detailed. You have Sunoco. You have Goodyear in yellow on the wheel well. And then on the wheels themselves, they are yellow with dark gray rims. Is it me, or is that Goodyear logo looking a little bit funny here? Zoom in on that. Then you look at the one on the other side. Yup, I am not tripping, folks. That does not look too great for that Goodyear logo right there. You have NASCAR Cup Series 75th anniversary logo for NASCAR. I'm trying to get this camera to focus better. I don't know if it's the colors that are making this kind of not great. You have the emerald green, that lime, super light green for the number 17 in chrome, which looks super cool. So you can get a closer look at that, what these chrome numbers do to the camera. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And apparently these cost more by $2 or $3 more than regular diecasts. You have Chris Buescher with the little flag, state flag, Texas. You have Ford, and what does that say there? I cannot read that. Is that Wyndham Rewards and Castrol? You have BuildSubmarines.com, nice, big, and slanted to fit that new number placement. You have Fastenal, Mac Tools, Doosan, and wow, Siemens is on this card too. Wow, they're on a lot of cars, some of these sponsors. You have Fifth Third Bank on the quarter panel right there. Then you have BuildSubmarines.com, RFK, Ford, the Ford license plate with the 2023 sticker. You have number 17. You have, let's see what this is, Blue Force Alliance on the deck lid right there. You have Buescher, and then two, not one, but two Build Submarines logos on the roof. They also did this weird, they had a weird variation of this car where it had like Build Submarines over the headlights as well. They started putting decals here and here. Like it's not just one big hood logo, they also even put them over the headlights. I know the other teams like even RCR have started doing this, just putting more and more sponsors. Like when the car drives up close to somebody, they can actually see a sponsor. So that's pretty interesting. So they did not get it on this diecast because this was released before. I guess they started doing that to the cars. But that is going to be it for all the sponsors on this diecast. And by the way, before I forget it, you have the biofuel logo on the right, the left rear quarter panel right there. Of course, all these diecasts have this, but I tend to always forget to point it out. But there you go. That is your paint scheme in terms of the sponsors. Now you're going to be looking at the full-on paint scheme review. So they spray painted this with a base coat of white. So they started out with the diecast in white, so that means everything else is a decal. So let's take a look at the numbers first. So on the top here you have that weird, like bright green outline. That color, it's a good looking color. I don't mean weird as in it's bad. I actually like the color of it. So you have that very thin outline. Then you have a white shadow to it. Then you have that green outline again and the black number fill-in, looking really sharp. I've always loved the updated fonts. Then you have the number 17 on the side with the black outline, the white outline, and then the emerald green. There it is. That's what I meant to call it. It's sort of like an emerald green chrome number fill-in right there. Look at that. Beautiful looking car. And I know the camera doesn't really focus in the best because these chrome numbers kind of throw it off. That's the only thing about reviewing these cars, but the number nonetheless, I really like the look of it. It was definitely worth getting a car with that style number again. So now let's look at the paint scheme itself. You have a black splitter, you have a black spoiler and black roof rails, of course the dark gray rims. So if we start at the front here, you're gonna have some white on the corners along with some of that bright emerald green, and then you're gonna have some more white. And the way it looks on here, it actually looks like it's splotchy. Like they just kind of just, they took a paintbrush and they just splashed it on there. That's honestly the style of the sponsor. That is not a defect. That's actually how it's supposed to look, and I quite like the style of it. It's around the corners of the front OEM details. Of course, on the hood, you have that huge Build Submarines logo right there. And then you look at it on the side right here, you're going to have it just more. So the whole front of it's going to be black right here. And then you're going to have some of the just splotches of black, so that the white can just come through here. Then you have some more little splotch of black right there and over here. Some over the windshield, the side window profile of this car, around the rear quarter window. You got some black. Then you have that light emerald green again. Then you have the little logo. I forget what that's called. There's a name for that. Is that like a crosshair or something? The giant little crosshair, whatever you want to call that. Somebody in the comments, please correct me on that. I am not a submarine expert by any means. You have the little bit of green right there again. Some more green over here. It just kind of like scattered, but there's a lot of room for that white to show through because you got to be able to see the number and then the sponsor. It's a really sharp design, and all the RFK cars have that like pillar style design. The Kozlowski pillars, which honestly look really cool on every paint scheme. There isn't one that it looks bad on. And you're gonna go to the back right here. A little black stripe from the quarter panel, or from the stripe, is always going to continue towards the back. And of course it breaks up when you have the decals on it, like RFK and the number 17. But let's get some closer looks at this. Here's the top. You can see like the stripe stops right here, so you can see the A pillar and all that stuff. And you can see the top, it's all white. They want to make it look like most of the back of it is white, and then most of the front of it is black. So you have black, white, and then he has some of the green on it. Really, really cool styling to this. I know, what's the YouTuber's name? Please don't let me mess up his name. The Mickey Movie. Mickey Movie. He is a huge Chris Buescher fan, so I'm sure he's probably watching this video, so shout out to him. But let's get some closer looks at this car. Quite funny, I don't really know many fans of Chris Buescher, which is a shame because he's a really cool driver with some really awesome paint schemes like this one. So you're gonna look at it closer. Wow, dude, just the detail of this paint scheme is incredible. And on top of that, not only is it a great paint scheme, but the chrome numbers just really help this thing a lot. It looks great. This thing definitely stands out, especially with that hood logo. You definitely know exactly what car this is. So this sponsor definitely has an opportunity to become one of the more iconic sponsors in NASCAR. You always have those like iconic sponsors with these big logos that they're really well known by NASCAR fans. I feel like this is going to be one of them down the road. I'd probably even say it is now. Like, in terms of like modern NASCAR, like the era of NASCAR that we're in, like Build Submarines is definitely one of the bigger, newer sponsors that we have in NASCAR. So now it's time to get some 360 views, give you guys a 360 view of this paint scheme to wrap up the review. Here's the front of the car. Here is the hood. Here is the right side. We're going to get some more close-ups of this. Here's the right side. That re-recorder window is about to fall off. Here's the back. Here's the deck lid. Here's the roof and the top profile of this car. Here's the left side, which is the same as the right side. They both are the same, just mirrored decals. And here is the under tray of this 2023 Ford Mustang. Is going to be the review for Chris Buescher and his 2023 Build Submarines Ford Mustang. Really, really good looking car. I definitely recommend this one. If you're only going to get a few die casts a year, this is definitely one of the ones you should make it. This should definitely be one of the cars because I really, again, the colors on it are really unique. It's going to stand out from other die casts in your collection for that very reason. It's a new sponsor that hasn't had a die cast before until 2023. So definitely, if you're a NASCAR fan, you like these things, and you like these different paint schemes, or you're a Chris Buescher fan like that Mickey Movie I just mentioned earlier, definitely pick up this car. This is a really, really cool car, and it should round out your RFK staple of diecast. So yeah, that is going to be it for the review. Thank you all for checking out this video. Comment, like, and subscribe for some more diecasts. We do have some more diecasts. Not that many more like it used to be, but you also have a bigger variety than I expected because you actually also have some authentic cars that I picked up. So definitely stay tuned for that. There's a Ty Gibbs in there. There's a Bowman one. So many great ones that have come in. So stay tuned for those at least. Thank you all for checking out this video. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next diecast review here on Circle Club. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast.